Okay, so this video is for MA 110, the final exam review, and question number 5, and we can do both A and B. So the question itself says we have f of x is equal to 4x squared minus 9, and g of x is equal to the root of x plus 6. And we are asked to find, for part A, g of f of 4. So let me erase that. G of f of 4. And for part B, we are asked to find f of g of 5. Okay, so let's do part A first. So for A, so I'm first going to evaluate what is f of 4. So I'm going to evaluate the inside first. So f of 4 equals 4 times 4 squared minus 9. And I get that from looking here. That's f of x, and then wherever I see x, I put this 4. So I put this 4 in for x, and that's what I did, right? I put this 4 in for x. And when I simplify that, I'm going to get 4 times 16 minus 9. And 4 times 16 is not something I have memorized, so I have to kind of think about that for a second. So that's 64 minus 9, and 64 minus 9 is 55. So 4 times 4 squared minus 9 is 55. So now I have this 55 number, and what I need to do then is put that inside of G. So this is G, and so f of 4 equals 55. And I need to put 55 inside of G wherever I see x. So then I have G of 55. That's equal to the root of 55 plus 6. 55 plus 6 is equal to 61. And I don't think 61 simplifies nicely, so I'll just leave it at that. So the answer for part A is just 61. Now let's look at part B. Okay, so part B is f of g of 5. What this stands for is f of g of 5 is what that stands for. So once I write it that way, well, then all I need to do is figure out what is g of 5. And then when I'm finished doing that, put that number into f. So g of 5 equals, so g is up here, g of x is equal to square root of x plus 6. So g of 5 is the square root of 5 plus 6, which is the square root of 11. And so g of 5 is equal to 11. So then I need to figure out what is f of square root of 11. And so that's equal to 4 times the square root of 11 squared minus 9. Because remember, f of x equaled 4 times x squared minus 9. From way up at the beginning. From way up here at the beginning. Okay, so I plugged this g of 5 for x, and so now when I simplify that, I get f of root 11 equals 4 times, and 11 squared is just 11, and then minus 9. So this is 44 minus 9, and 44 minus 9 is 35. And so the answer to part B is 35.